So I did not put out this video when I wanted to. I want to do this more like early mid January. It's towards the end of January now. And I think I was having a hard time figuring out what I was wanted to do for this video, partly because just fewer things happened to me in general this year. I think the title of this video is going to be something like uh, "The Year My Life Stood Still" or something, because like very little happened to me, and that's good and bad. Good because there were just like very, if you watch my last video, my experience, not completing college. I said, like 5 times in 10 seconds, whatever. Experiences not completing college and when I wanted to and all that. And this year, there was no attempt at that. There was a job. I had a job. I don't have that job anymore. That did happen. I don't really want to talk that much about that, but it was, yeah. Things happened. I don't have that job anymore. It wasn't like a crazy high paying job or anything. Technically, it wasn't a minimum wage job. It was less than $1 more than minimum wage. So not I've technically never worked minimum wage. I've had 2 jobs and both of them were slightly more than minimum wage. So there you go. Um this is important. Yeah, anyway, what happened? I was going to I think the general vibe of the year is that there's still like a fear about the future. Like I still don't have like a plan. That didn't happen. I didn't come up with a future plan this year. I just kind of just stood still and didn't really do much in terms of like productivity. But I would say like some of the things I'm happy with. NG Challenge, which I did start last year, middle of last year. That is, yeah, and Minesweeper in general. Although Minesweeper has been like slowly declining in playtime, not in a huge way, but it has been a little bit. Yeah, and so let's think of big Minesweeper things I did this year. The Evil No Guessing championship, the monthly championship. 1 month it was Evil No Guessing win streak. I think I finished like 14th, and I got lucky a bit. There's something 50% mine that was safe that I did not need to click, but it was still cool that I did fairly well at that. And let's see what else. What else even happened in Minesweeper? Like I know things happened in Minesweeper. I made enough videos. I make the monthly recap videos on Minesweeper. What things happened that weren't Minesweeper? Some things. Trying to see now. Trying to do this. Maybe I should like try to plan what I'm gonna say about the year as the year goes on, and like so I have things because I don't know if I remembered what happened this year. I might just do random things that I happened this year. Let's do something that was on YouTube. Marble League. Marble League was really great this year. I might do a video on that because well last year, 2025 Marble League was really great. I might do a video on that because it was. I think it bounced back from 2024, which wasn't like terrible, but it wasn't as good as some of them. Even though my 2 favorite teams were not in it, I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. My 2 major teams did not. My 2 favorite teams did not qualify, and both did poorly enough that they're not going to qualify next year either. So that's great. Good job, Rojo Rollers and Team Primary. But Malayola did do very well. That's my 3rd favorite team. So something. Uh, other like random things that happened. Yeah, like I said, no big life events really, besides the job, which I don't really want to talk about that much. I will say, is the environment was the reason. Like the job itself was fine. The job itself, I had very few problems with like the things I was being asked to do, but I disliked the environment more. I will say. But anyway, enough about that. Uh, this is a video for sure. things I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, roller coasters. Roller coasters, that was fun. I don't talk about roller coasters like at all on this channel, and that's like a significant part of the in-person things I do. Like the in-person events I go to. Uh, Roller coasters and baseball. I went to a lot of Guardians games. That was exciting. I'll talk about the Guardians a little bit because that was very exciting. Uh, we're like looked really terrible all the year, and somehow our average was below average. We were just like a little bit below average based on our record, but we seemed way worse than that. And then all of a sudden, we were just amazing in September. We make the playoffs. We win the division after being down by some ridiculous number of games. I don't remember what number of games. And then lose the first round of the playoffs to the team we passed to win the division, the Tigers. So that's something. But still, yeah, still a really exciting season. Maybe we'll actually get somebody in free agency. We haven't really been doing that. Anyway, yeah, these are like things I watched or more than things I did because I didn't do many things. Go riding roller coasters. That's the thing I did. Let's see what parks. See, went to the usual ones: Cedar Point, Kings Island, Waldameer, Kennywood. I live in Cleveland area. Waldameer is actually the closest one because it's in Pennsylvania, but right on the border. We went to Knoebels, which we don't always do. We went Hollywood Nights, which is my at Holiday World, which this is a yearly event thing. I won't even be able to go next year because it's so hard to get tickets, but I was really fun as always. Holiday World's my favorite park. Let's see, what other ones? I went to a bunch. The Mount Olympus one, yeah, I went there on vacation, and that's in Wisconsin. Oh yeah, I didn't just go to Guardians games. I also went to on vacation a Brewers and a Twins game, and that was like right at the start. And the Twins game, the game in Minnesota happened to be the Brewers going to Minnesota to play the Twins, and that was like the start. So both of those Brewers games were like the start of the Brewers' amazing run in the middle season. So I did that. I caused that. Anyway, yeah. And what I think I might have missed a park or two. I don't know. I might have. Yeah. What else happened? Like I said, not much happened. I watched more stuff. I'm gonna put out a list of my favorite YouTube animations. I was thinking I might do 26 instead of 13 because there's just so many, and I was keeping track the whole year this year, and there's just so many great ones to choose from. It's just I am scared of, because I have so many I picked out, and I have so many to rewatch to try to make that list, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to make that list. I'm not really I haven't started rewatching things yet. I'm gonna give some time to actually, find things that were released in late 2025. What else happened in 2025? Things that happened to me. We mentioned baseball. I might as well mention the Steelers had another Steelers season. We went 10-7 again. Yeah. We went 10-7 again. Woohoo! Third year in a row. Other sports. Fulham is a soccer club in the Premier League. This would be my first full calendar year rooting for them would be 2025, I think. So, yeah, finished last year. A little bit disappointing at the very end, but still 11th, considering Fulham's history. Not bad at all, and a solid start to this season. Solid enough, at least. And yeah, and that. Yeah, in that time both in 2025, Fulham actually made the FA Cup quarterfinals from last season and the League Cup quarterfinals from this season. So that's something. Anyway, what other things? This is like gonna be the in terms of technical quality. I know these aren't like usually technically super impressive. This is gonna be like the least organized video I've put out, maybe like the least focused. I have no focus. I don't know what this video is about.